Greetings, everyone. My name is Latasha Reedus. I serve as the Vice President for Psi Eta Omega Chapter of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, located in Columbus, Ohio. On behalf of the chapter, I would like to personally welcome you to our very first Pearl podcast. This endeavor is a part of the chapter programs, which are also part of our larger corporate initiatives. Those of you who are aware are fully in the know of that Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is the oldest Black Greek letter sorority, having been founded in 1908 on the campus of Howard University. We pride ourselves on uplifting not just the Black community as a whole, but specifically Black women of all ages and of all different walks of life. We have current initiatives, and one of the initiatives focuses on building our economic wealth, specifically supporting and empowering women entrepreneurs. So, from that initiative and from that program target, our chapter decided what better way to do this mission than to actually highlight and spotlight and uplift local African American women, Black women who are entrepreneurs right here in the Central Ohio community. Our very first inaugural interviewee for our very first inaugural Pro podcast is Miss Ashley Alexander. She is the founder and CEO of Pretty Busy Moms LLC. Without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Alexander.
Good
Greetings, Miss
afternoon.
Alexander. And
Hi.
for full disclosure, Miss Alexander is also a member of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Psi Eta Omega Chapter, and we just felt like we have some homegrown talent right here. So what better way to get this podcast program started than to start with one of our own, because we are really about soaring to greater heights of service and sisterhood. So, Miss Alexander, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to be a part of this experience. My business, it is called Pretty Busy Moms LLC, and it's based right here in Columbus, Ohio. Pretty Busy Moms, we focus on it's really a fun social party that I host quarterly, and each party we focus on understanding maternal mental health and how to protect your mind, as well as self-care practices and discovering self-love. The events are really blowing up in the city faster than I could ever imagine. And it just shows how important mental health is and how women, we need to take it seriously.
So, Ashley, tell me, we know that anytime anyone decides to go out on a limb and say, you know what, I think I'm going to start my own business, regardless of whatever the business is, um, there's a labor of love. But at the same point in time, we also know that there was probably some reason that caused you to even get to this point. So, can you tell us a little bit about how this idea came from, or how the current business went from being just an idea in your heart and in your mind to being a full-fledged LLC?
Yes, absolutely. The concept really started when my children, I have twins, when they were younger. And right before the pandemic, February 2020, I called some of my friends and I pitched the concept to them. And they said, Ashley, let's do it. I'll go wherever it is. And then March hit. And of course, COVID shut everything down. And I called my friends and I realized, like, oh, we're all not in a good place mentally. We heard our kids in the background. My kids were on the cabinets trying to get ice cream. And it was madness. I remember one time FaceTiming a friend, checking in on her, and I was hiding in the closet for some peace of mind. And then I realized, like, okay, I'm going to table this idea. And then as of July of this year, I picked it back up and I understood that we are in a place where we need more knowledge of how to protect our minds to be better equipped for everything. And the first event, it sold out twice, about a month before the actual social party.
So tell me about that first event. What exactly did you guys do? What was the format of it?
Yes, so with our events, we welcome vendors to come, and it's free of charge for vendors to come and spotlight their own business. When you get there, you might see some friendly faces, you might make some new friends. And to start, it's just social networking and connecting with other women. I found that a lot of the women have known each other, maybe if it was through school or their kids are in the same sports program. And then after the mingling, there's live jazz and then there's dinner. Olive Garden sponsored the last dinner, and it was just abundance of food for all of the guests. Then after that, we have guest speakers come out, and Dr. Trishina Jones, she was a guest speaker, and she gave some really great medical background knowledge of mental health and the cause and effects. Then we also had a representative from Poem Rise come out and share more about Black maternal health. And then after the guest speakers, ladies were able to go to the vendors. And I believe the best part of Pretty Busy Moms is that we support local nonprofits. So we raised over $200 for Choices, which is a domestic violence shelter for moms and their children in Columbus.
That's a wonderful organization. A little known fact, when I was in grad school decades ago, one of my many part-time jobs was I worked night shift at Choices.
Wow,
So I
very.
always try to encourage people because a lot of people don't realize that we even have a domestic violence shelter here,
Mhm.
that there's a need for it. And actually, we probably need more than the one that we have, but the
Mhm.
one that we do have does a tremendous amount of work for the community. So that's awesome. I'm curious, especially since you say this started before the pandemic, and then you kind of had to put the pause button on it and then pick it back up. How did you go about getting buy-in from family and friends? Because I know other folks who are entrepreneurs, particularly black women, small business owners. You know, they're doing it as a side hustle and they're trying to get it to be something bigger. And sometimes one of the biggest challenges that they face is getting family and friends to buy in, whether it's to support the idea, the vision, to contribute money, to be customers and clients. So how have you been able to get people to buy in?
Oh, this is so true. Yes. And I was shocked. I was like, hold on. I've known you my whole life and I've supported your stuff. But then I realized, like, okay, I know this is a good concept. So
Hmm.
once I understood that sometimes you just have to prove yourself and then people will come back around, I started reaching out to people that I had no connection to. I would research online and find agencies that are similar to Pretty Busy Moms. And I would tell them, this is what I have going on. Are you interested in supporting? I received over $1,200 in just donations from Open
Wow.
Sky, yeah, Open Sky Massage Parlor, Pin and Beach Candles, just to support me. So then when I realized, like, okay, these people don't know me and they're completely supporting me, I must keep going. And by the time that the attention came around, a lot of the tickets were already sold out. And I would tell my friends and family, like, it's okay, they're sold out. There's more to come. So
Okay.
sometimes you have to prove yourself, and that's okay.
It is. So tell me why the name Pretty Busy Moms?
Yes, yes. Of course. The name came in like February 2020. And of course, I think I'm pretty. I know I'm pretty. And with having twins, I'm always busy. And I wanted to come up with a name that would just stick. We are mothers, we're juggling and multitasking so much all of the time. but we can make the name playful and cute as well.
Okay. See, okay. So when I first thought about pretty busy moms, well, I do like the emphasis on that we look good, pretty. I was thinking about like, because moms are pretty busy, you know.
Yes,
So I
yes,
guess
that's true too.
that's nice. So I appreciate that. Which is actually kind of good because maybe more of us moms do need to think of ourselves as pretty. I think oftentimes when we become moms, and I just say this because I've been one for decades, it seems like. Um, I used to always tell my husband, I don't want to have that mom look. I don't want to look like a mom.
Mhm.
And he would laugh when I say it. And in my mind, it was just like, I don't want to look so fried and worn down and not really paying attention to, my physical appearance and all those type of things. Um, so yeah, and it took me a minute to grapple with that as well. So let me ask you a couple of things. So what does motherhood mean to you, Miss Ashley?
Yes. Whew, that's a
He's the
good
mom of
question.
twins.
That is such a good question. To me, motherhood just means just being present, being there. Not all of my days are good days. My twins would probably hop on in here and let you know about some times where it was not. But I try to show up for my kids the best way I can at all times. Whether we've gone through tragedy or sunshine days, I try to make sure that they know I'm here, I'm with you, we're going to be okay. And I've learned, although my kids are 7, there's been many sleepless nights, many sleepless nights. My goal as a mother is just to make sure that every day when I lay down, I know that I tried my best.
Okay, so since you are still what I would consider a young mom in the trenches out here, what do you find has been one of the most challenging aspects of motherhood
Mm.
and being able to do motherhood and your full-time job and your baby labor of love, pretty busy moms?
Yes, yes. Um, I would say the how I try to balance everything. I try not to give so much energy to like my job or even pretty busy moms. I love it so much and my business it's slowly coming together and gaining its momentum. The best thing that I have learned how to do is just to be real with myself in the moment. And if I'm not in a good headspace to focus on one or the other, I might just set something aside just to take some time for myself, whether it's reading a book, walking away for a little bit. Um, as a young mom, I'm still trying to work it out. I can't wait to tell you, like they're in college, and I can sleep at nights. I can't wait for those days. So I'm looking to you for sure.
Oh, I appreciate that, but let me tell you something. Just because they're in college, you're not going to be sleeping at night. You just might sleep differently because now you might be waiting on a phone call, hoping that you don't ever have to get one or still being present. I will say that who haven't been in these trenches as long as I have been. Again, my oldest is 25. Then I got one who will be 23 next month, and then one who is 19, and then one who is 18. And excuse me, she's 18. She's 14. And I remember when my son was maybe, I'd probably say maybe like a sophomore, freshman or sophomore in college, and he was home for the summer and he was going to go, he had said that him and some friends were going to go up to campus Ohio State and just get on the fields, the soccer fields. They wanted to play soccer, and I remember saying, but just be careful. Are you sure the lights are going to be on? Are you allowed to be up there and all these type of things? And I just said, well, just be careful. Don't be out really too late. And then I think he said something along the lines like, why are you worried? And I said, you know what? I said, I will always worry about you. That's just what parenthood is. And when you become a parent, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. So just hang in there, hang in there. So I'm a busy mom. Why should I take time out of my day to come hang out with Pretty Busy Moms LLC?
Yes,
What am
yes.
I going to get out of an evening with you?
Yes, we welcome everyone, everyone, everyone. What you get out of Pretty Busy Moms LLC is the experience. It is all about having a moment of time where we just celebrate you. Now that I'm a mom, I get celebrated on my birthday and Mother's Day. And I realized, like, no, I need to be celebrated more. I'm cooking and cleaning and taking y'all here and there all the time. And so when you come to the event, it's designed to feel like a nice, fun party. There's music and laughs and games and opportunities to meet other people who could potentially be lifelong friends. But then also at the end of the experience, ladies, gentlemen, whoever attends, you receive a gift box. And inside of it, it's called the Busy Box.
Okay.
So I'm working on getting that name registered right now.
Okay.
Inside the Busy Box, it's self-care items from small vendors designed just for you. And so at our last event, there were those bracelets, bath bombs, candles, a lot of different things that came into the Busy Box.
Okay. How often do these events take place? Is this like once a
So
month, once every other month,
that's
quarterly?
such a good question. Starting in 2023, we're going to have one event quarterly, and then we'll have opportunities to purchase busy boxes for family or friends on the
Okay.
website.
Okay. And these are kid-free events, correct?
Yes, that is correct. The intent is for being kid free, but we get it. Sometimes you just want to hang out and you don't have a babysitter,
Hmm.
and that happens. We're flexible, but the intent is for you just to have some time for yourself.
Okay. All right. So, Ashley Alexander, what do you do for yourself as a pretty busy mom to relax, to just, or is this what you do to relax?
That's so funny. Actually, this is going to sound so corny, but I'm going to say it. This is kind of what I do. So I love one of my spiritual gifts. I love just making people happy.
Hmm.
It brings me so much joy when I know that someone is just gaining a great experience. And so that energy, it's awesome. I love it. But I'm also like a nature person. And so you can catch me outside in the wilderness, appreciating the trees. That's about what I do.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, it's funny that you just I could just see that you're just so excited and just exuding, all of this. This is me in my element, whether
Yeah.
it is hanging out in the trees or spending time on my project, on my business. And I always like to call, when people who are entrepreneurs, I always like to call their businesses their babies, because to me it
Yeah.
really is. Um, we could actually probably sit here and talk for another hour, but with this being social media, we want to kind of keep it as a little
Uh,
less than an hour, so to speak. So, if I could ask you one last question, it would be this: keeping in mind that the focus of this really is to highlight female entrepreneurs, what advice would you give another woman, particularly a black woman, who has said, I think I want to take a step and start my own business?
mhm. Absolutely. I would tell her to go for it. You're going to find people who may not support you, and it might be surprising, but there are people who want to help. I have come across more people who want to help than those who don't. And when you start making those baby steps and then you start looking back and you say, okay, I did that. I did that. You could check it off your list. And then eventually one day it'll just transpire into something great and beautiful. I believe that she should go for it. There's opportunities in the city. The Small Business Development Center is a good program. ACE at Central Community House. They work with women in businesses and help them from the ground up.
Okay. Okay, so this is really my last question. Where do you see Pretty Busy Moms? Let's look 5 years down the 5 years into the future. Where would you like to see Pretty Busy Moms situated 5 years from now?
Yes, I know for a fact, five
Uh-oh.
years from now,
You got it.
we we will be nationwide. The plan is to host Pretty Busy Mom events in major parts of the city. And so
Mm.
currently we're planning for Brooklyn, New York 2023. And that's the
Ooh,
plan, is to host these parties in major parts of the nation.
why Brooklyn?
My sister goes there,
Okay,
and she
okay.
used to go to Pratt Institute,
Okay.
and I posted my business a few weeks ago, and a lady inboxed me, and I told her I'm in Ohio, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm in Brooklyn," and so I told her I will remember you, and I will be back.
All right. 5 years from now, nationwide. The
Oh
date is
yes,
October 26th. I'm gonna put this on my calendar.
thank
And
you.
then when we get there in October 26th, 2027, if my math is right, I'll be able to say, Ashley, do you remember when we sat down and you were our very first speaker on our Pearl podcast? And I asked you where you would be at in 5 years? Man, look what you were actually able to do
Oh
in
yes,
5 years.
I can't wait. I can see it.
All right. Well, Miss Ashley Alexander, founder and CEO of Pretty Busy Moms LLC, and my beloved sorority member, sorority sister, it has been a pleasure to spend some time with you, introducing you, but also introducing your baby to the community. Um, how can people contact you if they
Yes,
have more information?
that is great. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Pretty Busy Moms. My email is super simple. It's prettybusymom614 at gmail.com.
Okay, so you're on Instagram and Facebook. You're not on TikTok yet?
I
No more.
know. Geez, I can't catch up with these kids.
I'll
I
have you know it's not just the kids who are on who are on
can.
Twitter and Instagram, but that means you will be there. So
Yes.
that's your homework for the month
Yes.
is to
I
get
love
you
it.
a Twitter account and a TikTok account and to continue growing your business. So thank you so much.
Thank you.